So let me show you a quick example of how you could change a line of code and commit the change. If you open up your project folder, well, we can't see it because it's a hidden file. So how am I going to actually show us how to edit this? Well, you can take the entire folder and either drag it onto Sublime Text, or you can open up Sublime Text and click File, Open, and find that folder. And then instead of opening a specific file, open the entire folder. You should get this thing on the left-hand side to pop up. This is the it's the sidebar, and if you go to View Sidebar, you can hide it, or you can actually get it to come back. And this shows you basically the files inside of your folder. So it's more easy to jump around in here by just clicking different files, and you can explore the code. And don't worry too much about this so far. The one thing I want you to do is I want you to add a file to, or I want you to add a line to this .gitignore file. And this basically allows us to tell Git which files we don't want it to keep track of. And there's one annoying file, especially if you're on a Mac, that you'll see over and over again. It kind of just pops up there. You won't see it because it's invisible, but if you don't add this to your gitignore file, it'll keep getting saved and keep telling you, oh, there's updates to your code when there really isn't. So it's a good idea to go here and go into the bottom. It really doesn't matter where you put this, and hit enter and type, actually hit ignore. We'll add it in on line 19 because this says ignore all log files and temp files. So hit enter and just do .ds_store and save that. So now, if this file ever gets created, our Git is not going to keep track of it. So I can save this, and if I go back here and I type git status, what you'll see is changes not staged for commit, which means it knows that we've changed our .gitignore file, but it wants us to tell it what do you want us to save these changes, what's the deal. So how do we, there's two things that we have to do. I showed you those in the last step. I'm going to do it again. Git add space -a. This will add it to be ready. If I do git status now, it'll say changes to be committed. It's kind of annoying, honestly, to keep track of that there's two stages to save. You first have to add folders, and then you have to commit them with the save message. The reason why this happens is if you changed a bunch of files, you could select which of those files you want to save initially, and you can kind of separate saves, which ends up being kind of a cool feature, but we're not really going to use it. So I did git add a, and now I can do git commit, and then you have to pass in a message. So changed .gitignore, and then close the quotes and hit enter, and there it is. I just made a save to Git, and all my changes are saved. In the next video, I want to show you really quick how Git can be really useful if you made a mistake and you didn't mean to and you want to go back.